when the class is over, I'm going to be asking you if you would like a copy of this class emailed to you. So it's important that you know that this class is being recorded. This class is going to be focusing on the online store. Now, there's two very important things to note about this. First, in order to use the new app, your online store must be set up, even if you're not going to be using it on your website. If you are not going to be using the app, the online store is important for you to have on your website. Now, the online store, I have got a lot of background noise there, so I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys. Sarah, it sounds like you just joined our class. I just muted everybody, so I won't be able to hear you, but you'll be able to hear me. And then I will unmute all of you and ask if you have any questions as we go on, okay? But for now, anyway, you guys are muted, unfortunately, because we were having so much background noise. But again, this is the online store class. This online store class is going to focus on setting up the online store. Now, I want you to be aware, as I said, that if you are going to be using the app, the online store must be set up, but it does not have to be part of your website. If you are not going to be using the app, then having the online store set up and having it added to your website is a really important feature. Now, the app does a lot more than the online store does, but some of the features of the app require the online store to be active, and that's what we're talking about here. So we're going to go ahead and start. First, from the main menu of our software, we click on Online. And by the way, if any time during this class you have a question that you need to ask me and you do not want to wait for me to unmute you guys, please feel free to use the chat log to write your question. I'll give you opportunities to ask, but sometimes people think, oh, I'm going to forget if I don't ask it now. So please feel free to use the chat log. Okay, so again, we click on the Online Store button, and that brings us to our Setup Online Store window, and this is where we're going to be setting everything up. I'm going to unmute everybody really quick, see if we still have a lot of background noise. No, we don't. But Christy, it looks like you've muted yourself, which is fine. You can unmute yourself or mute yourself, but right now we've got no background noise, so I'm just going to leave everybody unmuted and we'll continue. Okay, so now that we've clicked on the online store, that takes us to this Setup Online Store window. And we're going to go through each one of these fields. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our existing company's website address. So whatever your business's website address is, what goes here. Make sure that you include like a www, not just the name. So for instance, this one would not just be iqwareinc.com, but www.iqwareinc.com or something like that. That way it can turn into a link. Next, where it says email address, I want you to put in the email address that you want notifications from the store to go to. So if somebody, for instance, were to go to your website to purchase a product or to book an appointment online, the email address that you put in here can be notified of that. You do not have to actually put an email address in here because obviously if somebody books an appointment online, the appointment will appear right on your appointment book. So maybe you think it's just kind of, extra for it to also send you the email. So that's fine. You don't have to put anything in there because if somebody buys a product online or buys a gift certificate online, you'll be alerted through the point of sale. So again, you may not care to have an email address there. It's totally up to you. Next, terms and conditions. You do not need to write anything here, but it's probably a good idea, especially if you have a cancellation policy or something like that. You're going to want to fill that information in. Then the bottom message. The screen itself is going to have a tiny little line at the bottom where you can have your bottom message, and it can be anything you want. Mine says IQR Inc. 2017, all rights reserved. Yours could say something like the name of your business, all rights reserved, or maybe it says something like, if you have any questions, please call, and a telephone number. So whatever you want for the bottom message. Then we have our API login and our API transaction key. These are also unnecessary. If you are going to be selling gift certificates or gift cards or retail products, either through your website or through the app, then you do need these. But if you are not going to be doing that, then you don't. But how do we get these? From your credit card company. Hopefully you're using ours, and we can help you with it. But if not, then whoever your credit card company is, you need to get what's called an online merchant ID, okay? With your online merchant ID, you will go to another website. You will go to authorized.net. And here in authorized.net, you'll go to Get Started, and you will set up an account with authorized.net. because we use Authorize.net as our payment gateway. So it doesn't matter who your credit card company is. You can use whoever you like. Like I said, I hope you're using us. But whether or not you are, you can go, as long as you get your online merchant ID, you can go to Authorize.net and set up your account. When you have set up your account, you will be supplied a login and a transaction key. So that's where you'll get those and you'll plug those in. Again, these are only necessary if you are selling gift cards or gift certificates or retail products online, whether through the app or through the website. Once we put those in, if we're going to put them in, then we have our main image, side banner image, and bottom banner image. I want you guys to see something here. I'm going to open up the actual screen. So this is what it could look like, something like this. So we've got our background color, we've got our main color, we've got our banners, our top main banner, our side banner, our bottom banner, and our social networking sites that we set up when we set up Darcy. Hopefully you've all taken my Darcy class. If not, watch it online through our website or sign up for the class, the live class. Anyway, how did we set this up? How did we get it to look the way it does? Well, what we do here is our main image, upload. We click on our upload button, and now we can browse to anywhere on our computer that we may have artwork, and we can upload it. So for instance, I'm going to go down here to my artwork and ads, and I'm going to go to my website, and I'm going to select our online store, and now this is where I've stored several different images. So wherever on your computer you have them. But I'm going to choose my new top banner, open, and upload. Takes just a few seconds, so we can count together. Oh, it's already done. And close. I've got a new main image. Let's take a look. So this is what I started with, and I'm going to refresh that. And now I've got this new banner on top. So now I'm going to come down here. Whoops, here we go. And I'm going to put in a new side banner. Browse to my whichever side banner I want to use. I'll go with the foot here and upload. Again, we'll count together. 1, 2, well, there you go, 2 seconds. So as you can see, it goes up there pretty quick. And now I'm going to put in my new bottom banner. There we go. And upload. Done. So now I've got 3 new banners in there. I'll save that. And let's take a look. Let's refresh. Okay, so I've got 3 new banners. And they don't really work with the color scheme that I've chosen. So let's go back in here. And my main color. My main color I'm going to say is a really light green. So I'm going to choose the lightest green I have, and I'm going to go to Define Custom Colors, and I'm going to make it even lighter. So I'll go with something like that. And I'm going to add that to my colors and choose it. There it is. And now my background color. This dark brown here, I'm going to go with a nice pine green, and this time I'm not going to make any changes to it. I'm just going to select it and say OK, and there it is. And let's save my changes, and let's take a look. All right, that's starting to look a little better. Still don't like this brown in there with all of this green and blue. So I'm going to come all the way down here to where it says button color, and I'm going to choose maybe my green and save. Now let's take a look. There we go. Now that looks pretty good. Maybe that's the way I want it. Again, you can upload any images you'd like, and technically they can be pretty much any shape and size. I say technically because if they're not the right shape and size, then you can start messing with the format. Things can get pretty small. The pictures can be too big or too small. So what I recommend is using the same format that we use so that everything will fit nicely. We can help you with that. We have a graphic arts department that actually can make them for you, make them with your help, or they can simply give you the specifications so that you can make them yourself. It's totally up to you because our graphic arts department is free of charge. It's part of what you pay for with your monthly subscription. So that graphic arts department is yours to use. Please take advantage of it. Okay, so I've created my front page of my store, but I've got a few other things to do here, like my font size. Your font size, the standard size is 3 for this page. I like mine to be 4. I would say either go with 3 or 4, but don't go anything bigger than 4. You're going to start messing with the format again. So 3 or 4. Then the font name. You can put in any font you'd like here as long as you have that font installed on your computer. Having said that, I don't recommend it. Stick with Arial. It's the easiest font to read online, which is why it's the most common. And it's our default font for you. And trust me, your computer's already got it. Stick with Arial. Then the font color. Now, because I said my main color is going to be a very light color, I want my font color to be a very dark color. Because if this was purple, for instance, a dark purple, and I made my font color black, it'd be very hard to read. So if my main color was something like a dark purple or a dark brown, then my font color I would want to be maybe something like white or yellow or, again, a light color, because we need that contrast in order to read it. So I said my main color is a light color, so my font color is going to be dark. So I chose black simply by clicking on the box, choosing the color you want, and hitting OK. So you might already have, when you go in there, a black box there and say, okay, I'm good with that, so I'm just going to leave it alone. But if there's no font color code, then you don't have it in there. It just looks like you do. You must click on it, choose a color, and accept it. Then you'll see the font color code. As long as you have a font color code, that's the color that it matches. You're good to go. My hyperlinks, as you are going through the pages, your customers will be able to use hyperlinks. I've said I want my hyperlinks to be this blue. If they've already visited my hyperlink, I want it to be burgundy. That's because that's what I chose. You make it any colors you want. My mouse over link color, and what that means is when I bring my mouse over a hyperlink, I want it to change colors. And I've said to change to a hot pink here so that I know I'm about to activate that one by clicking on it if I choose to. And then my active hyperlink color, I just went with the same color as my hyperlink color. It just means that's the link you're in. So after I've made those changes and I've saved everything, that is now, my front page has now been created successfully. But what I haven't done is given it any abilities. And you do that with these three buttons. Appointments, which will allow your customers to book their own appointments online, and or your staff to be able to check their schedule online, whether it be through your website or through the app. Then there's also gift cards or gift certificates. By selecting this, you'll be able to create the ability for your customers to purchase gift certificates online or gift cards online through the app or through your website. And then retail, again, allows your customers to purchase products through the app or through the website. So we're going to click on Appointments, and that brings up this new window. And this is where I'm going to write my welcome screen message, whatever I want it to say. So I've got welcome to our online booking feature. If you have not yet registered, please click on the create your free account now and assign yourself a username and password. If you have already created an account, please feel free to log right in. And then it says any name. Now, why on earth does it say any name? Well, that's just because I want to show you that this is real time. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on book now. And notice it says any name here. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to change this and I'm going to pick on Christia and I'm going to type in Christia and save. Well, let's take a look. Let's refresh. And now it says Christia. My point is whatever you put in there, your customers are going to be able to see immediately. Okay? Then your customers are going to be able to put in their username and password if they have created one for themselves. And now they can log in and do whatever it is they want to do, like choose a group, choose a service. In other words, they get to start booking themselves an appointment. But how do they do that? Well, after you've written your welcome screen message, you need to write a confirmation message so that when your customer is finished successfully booking themselves an appointment, they get a message from you. It can say whatever you want, but it's going to say something like, hopefully, what I wrote, congratulations, you've successfully booked your appointment online. And the cancellation policy. If you have a cancellation policy, be sure you've written it here because that's also going to go along with your customer. Then we have show prices. If this is blue with the plus sign, this will show your default salon or spa prices. If it is gray with an X, it will not show any prices as people go to book their appointments. Hours in advance. You don't need this. You can leave it at a 0 if you'd like, but you need to understand what it is. If somebody got online to my website or even through their app and they wanted to book an appointment and it was 8 o'clock in the morning, the very first option they would be shown in this case would be 9 o'clock in the morning if it was available. If it's not available, obviously it won't show that. But if it is available, the very first one they would see would be 9 a.m. Why? Because I advanced it 1 hour because they were trying to do it at 8 a.m. So if I put in 2 hours here, then at 8 a.m. when they go to my website, the first available option they would see would be at 10 because it's advancing 2 hours. I like to advance just 1 hour, but you can even leave it at 0, so then somebody booking at 8 could book at 8, which, I don't know. I don't think I would want that because they could book an appointment online without even being there at your shop, and it's going to take them some time. So I like to advance it 1 hour. Next is my max days out. It works exactly the same way as hours in advance, but instead it works by day. So if I put a 1 here and somebody was booking today, the first available option they would see would be tomorrow. If I put a 2 in here and they were booking today, the first available option they would see would be the day after tomorrow. By putting a 0 here, they're able to book on the day that they are going through the process online. Then my cancellation policy. Your customers have the ability through the app or through the website to unbook their own appointments, but you can prevent them from doing so within however many hours you put here. So by putting 48 here, if they are within 48 hours, they can't unbook their appointment. If I put in 480, then within 20 days, they wouldn't be able to unbook their appointment. If I put in 240, then in 10 days, if they were within 10 days, they wouldn't be able to unbook their appointment. By having 48 here, it's 2 days. Within 2 days, they would not be able to unbook their appointment. Next, I have my booking color. You simply click on that box just like you did on the other pages and choose whatever color you want. But what this means is that when somebody books an appointment online or through the app, the appointment will appear in your Transcend appointment book with that color. It will also have the word web next to it so that you know that it was booked online. So not only will it have a special online color that you've selected, but the word web. Then I get to choose when my customers are given options to book. Will they just be given options on the hour, or on the half hour, or on the quarter hour, 10-minute, or 5-minute? So let's say that Kayla here is available from 12 to 5 tomorrow. She has nothing scheduled. She's booked in the morning. She's got nothing scheduled from 12 to 5 in the afternoon. And somebody went online and they wanted to book with Kayla tomorrow. If you had it on hour, then the options they would be shown would be 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They would be given 5 options, those 5, 12, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I said, no, I'm going to allow people to book on the half hour, then they would be given 12, 12:30, 1, 1:30, 2, 2:30, etc. If you said on the quarter hour, 12, 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1 o'clock, etc., all the way to 5. On the 10 minutes, 12, 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40, 12:50, 1 o'clock, etc. And of course, on the 5 o'clock. Now, I'm on the 5 minutes, 12, 12:05, 12:10, 12:15, 12:20, 12:25. Oh my goodness. Look, if you're doing it on the hour and she's got 5 hours available tomorrow, your customer would be given 5 options, which is why I like it on the hour or on the half hour, because it's clean. 5 options here, 10 options here, 20 options here, 30 options here, 60 options here. So it starts to get a little bit crazy. So again, I prefer the hour, the half hour, but it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to stick with my hour here. Then on the right side, we have a list of all of our staff members. If you put a check next to their name, they cannot be booked online. This is a restriction. If you put a check next to their name, they cannot be booked online. Same thing with your groups in your salon or spa. If you put a check next to a group, that group cannot be booked online. And the services within those groups, because I might say, yeah, massages can be booked online and hair can be booked online. That's why they're not checked. But I might say within massage, there are certain massages that I don't want to be booked online. Like, for instance, I don't want the Shiatsu 30 to be booked online, or the Swedish 30, or the micro back, etc. So I get to put check boxes next to services that I don't want to be booked online, even if the group itself can be booked online. Once I finished putting in my checks, I press save and exit. My appointments is now set up. My customers can now go through the process of booking themselves an appointment online using the limitations that I just set up. They can choose a group, like, for instance, massage. After they have chosen a group, they're able to choose a service, like Swedish 60. After they've chosen a service, they're able to choose from a list of the people who can provide that service. They can choose any operator, and then it'll simply do a round robin. choosing for them. Or they can choose a specific person like Debbie here. And then they can choose a date. Now they can do this all through the app or they can do it right through your website. So I'm going to go with June 28th here on Wednesday, and now I'm going to check available times. Again, if they're doing it through the app, it's even easier and faster too, by the way. But I say check times, and now I can choose all of the available times that Debbie has. I'll say 2 o'clock and continue to confirmation. Gives me all of my information, and I can book the appointment. So now the appointment has been booked. Now, thank you, Bella, for booking with us today. We appreciate your loyalty. Bella also received an email just now that tells her all of the information. And on your end, in the actual software itself, on Wednesday, there she is. Bella has been booked online. That's why it's yellow, and that's why it says web. And she's been booked with Debbie at 2 o'clock, so it worked perfectly, just like it's supposed to. That's the online booking section of the online store. Now, that's just for your customers. What about if you want your staff to be able to check their schedule online? They can do the same thing. Again, they can do it through the app, much easier than they can do it through the website, but they can, in fact, do it through the website. So if they were doing it through the website, they would click this button that says Operator Login. And then they can put in their username and password, whatever it may be. And they go to login. Now they can view their appointments, book appointments online, or log out. I'm going to say show my appointments. I don't think I have any scheduled for myself, but I'll do it anyway. I'll say from July 1st to July 10th and look up appointments. Now, no appointments found. However, if there were appointments on the appointment book for Matthew, then they would have been listed here. Again, with the app, it's a little bit easier. You just click one button to view your appointments and put in whatever date range you want. But that is how your staff can use it, not just your clients as far as appointments. So, moving on. But before I do, does anybody have any questions on anything I've covered so far?
We don't have a website set up, and I'm doing this class because we are getting the app set up so customers can book. So what do we do for that?
Okay, well, again, you're going to set up the online store, but you don't have to market it, and you don't have to put the URLs anywhere. My point is you don't have to have a website, nor do your clients have to go to the online store unless you wanted them to do it through your website. If you don't want to do that, you certainly don't have to. But you could put a widget even on a Facebook page that says something like book appointments here, and they could click on that button on Facebook and book appointments online. But that's through a computer. If you're getting the app, you don't need to worry about it at all. You just need to set it up. Once it's set up, you're good to go. Whether you are, whether you have a website or a Facebook page or not, it's going to work with your app once it's set up. Okay?
Okay.
And if, by the way, if you are going to be using the app, technically you don't even need to upload your main image, side banner image, and bottom banner, but I would recommend that you do. Because even though they're booking through the app, so they're not going to see, for instance, this page, they're going to see your app page, not this page, so you don't really have to have this. But when it sends them an email, whether that email is to their smartphone or to a computer at home, you want it to have your banner on it. And so it's a good idea to make it look good, whether you're using it or not, because it's going to impact other things, including some things on the app. Okay? All right. Next, we have our gift cards and gift certificates. If I click here, it's really simple, a lot simpler than the appointments. You can have your pre-created gift certificate packages. If you have them, check whichever ones you want to be sold online, through the app or through the website. If you don't have any, then none will be listed here. Or you might have some, but you don't want them sold online, so just make sure they're not checked. Then you set up your shipping methods. That's all you have to do to set up the gift certificate or gift cards online. Don't forget, though, you do need the API login and transaction key. Now, when you get it, there are no shipping methods. So let me delete these so that you see. Whoops, let's FedEx overnight. There we go. All right, so they're all deleted. I don't have any. I'll save that and exit out. So when you first went in, there would be the list of your packages if you have any, and there would be no shipping methods. You're going to create shipping methods. You simply name them. So I can do email, and then my shipping charge is 0, and add. Now email exists as one of my shipping options. I could do another one like you U.S. Postal Service, first class, and say I'm going to charge $3 for that, and add. I could do something else like FedEx, overnight, whoops, and give a charge for that, maybe $20, and add. Now I've got 3 shipping types. So we'll save these changes and exit out, save. Let's go into our page. So if a customer wanted to purchase a gift certificate online, they're either going to be doing it through the app or they're going to do it through your website. And they'll be able to put in their recipient's first and last name. So do it for my wife here, Dina Wiggins. I can put in a dollar amount, or I can select a gift package. If any were there, they would be listed, and I can choose from them. Or I could put in a dollar amount, 100. I don't need to put in a decimal 00. It's already there for me. And then a personal message. Congratulations on being married to me. And then I get to choose. How am I going to ship this? And my shipping terms. Well, I'm going to go with email and continue. So all of my information is going to be here, and I can add another gift certificate, or I can proceed. Now I put in all of my credit card information. If I was shipping it somewhere else, I would check this box and choose an additional address. You still have to put the address in here. These are required, not recommended. These are required. But if you want it shipped somewhere else, you check that box and put it in here. But remember, I chose email. I don't want it shipped anywhere else. So I just do my credit card information, put in my credit card, first and last name, billing address, city, state, zip code, and email address, and my contact telephone number, and then I process. If my card went through properly, then I will instantly receive an email. And that email will have my receipt, and another email will have my actual gift certificate that I can then print out and walk into your shop and use. If I'm doing it through the app, I will get it emailed, and the gift card or gift certificate will actually appear on my smartphone. If you have a barcode scanner at your shop, you don't have to, but if you did, they would actually be able to use their smartphone gift certificate to get their discounts right through their phone. But they will get an email, so they can print it out as well if they wanted to. If they said, no, 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 I don't want to do it via email, I don't want it to get into my phone, whatever, I want it to be shipped directly somewhere else. Maybe you're doing a gift card instead of a gift certificate. If they do that, then in your software, in the point of sale, you will receive an alert that lets you know that an online purchase of a gift card has just been made, and you can open that alert, you can print out the shipping label, and you can then grab a gift card, activate it by swiping it with all of that information will attach to that card now. It'll be associated to that card. You can stick it in the box and ship it out. And of course, they're going to be charged. U.S. Postal, $3 is what I said, or FedEx overnight, $20 is what I said. But of course, if they went with email, you won't get an alert. You don't need an alert because your software is already aware of it. The moment they make the purchase, that gift certificate is now in your software, and they can come in and use it, either from their smartphone or from a printout. Any questions on that before I continue? No questions? All right, you guys are easy today. Okay, so then the next one is the retail. So we click on retail. So it's a little bit more complicated, but pretty simple. So let's, hold on, before we do that, let's go back in here and let's click on our products. Let me minimize that. Okay, so we're going to go into retail here, and we get to put in up to 10 featured SKU numbers. Featured means these are the first products your customers will see when they go to purchase a product online, whether it's through the app or through the website. And again, they have up to 10 that you can put in, but I've only put in 6. You could put in 1, and you can change it anytime you want. So you could have a featured product of the week, or you could have these 5 featured products for the month of June, and then a new 5 products for the month of July, whatever. You change them whenever you'd like. And you could leave them all blank so there are no featured items. You could just do 1 up to 10. Then you put in your shipping per item. How much are you going to charge your customers for every item they buy online? So I said $2.50. You make it whatever you want. Then we come down here, and all of our manufacturers will be listed. And if you put a check, these are restrictions now, if you put a check next to the name of a manufacturer, that manufacturer will not be able to be sold online, which is very popular with some manufacturers because of diversion. They don't want their products sold online. So if that's the way it is with your manufacturer, that's fine. Just check them. They won't be able to be sold online. Or maybe you say, no, I'm going to sell everybody online, but you might have something like a miscellaneous account or something like that, and so maybe that's not going to be sold online. And then your categories. Again, you can leave them all open so that they can all be purchased online. Or you can put checks next to the things that you don't want to be available online. I don't want my body products or my miscellaneous products or my brushes to be sold online, but I want my shampoos and finishers and conditioners to be sold online, etc. I can also choose from a specific manufacturer like Paul Mitchell, and I can say that there are certain products that can be sold online, so I left them unchecked, and certain products that can't be sold online. Like you may have a manufacturer like L'Oreal, and L'Oreal has L'Oreal products that they allow to be sold through diversion. That's why you'll find L'Oreal products at places like Kmart and Rite Aid, and you'll also find them inside of salons. However, L'Oreal also has a line called Kerastase, which they do not allow to be sold anywhere but in the salon. And they don't even allow them to be sold online. So you might say L'Oreal is a manufacturer that allows their products to be sold online, but certain L'Oreal products can't be. And so you might check off your Kerastase products if you carry them. So that's how that works. Once you have set up your featured items by putting in the SKU numbers of those featured items and checks off the manufacturers you do not want sold online, the categories you check off that you do not want sold online, and individual products that you do not want sold online. Then you press save, and you're done. And your customers, when they click on the store, will see your store. And your featured items will be the first things they see. Now they can go to shampoo and see all of your shampoos or all of your finishers or conditioners, or they can go through your manufacturers and choose from your manufacturer to see the products that you carry by them, or they can simply click on a product and buy that product. And they can do this whether they're doing it through your app or through your website. So for instance, if they chose the TG Cat Root Boost, it will let them know whether or not it's in stock. By the way, if it's not in stock, it cannot be sold to them. But it'll say in stock or out of stock, the manufacturer, the finish, and a description. Whatever description you want in there will show. So I wrote, this product is for root coloring treatments and not to be used on oily hair. Hunter. Well, the reason Hunter is there was because I was training somebody named Hunter, and I wanted to show him how whatever he puts in the description is going to instantly appear. So you might say, well, where is that description? Because it's certainly not in here. Okay, so where's the description then? In the actual products themselves, you can write long product descriptions for online sales. So this one says, this brush can help to reduce frizz simply by using it every morning. The ion technology in this brush calms excited hair and adds vibrance and luster. So that's what it would have said. So wherever that product is, let's go back there. This is the TG Cat Root Boost. Yeah, 8 ounce. Well, let's do it. So I'm going to do a quick look up and find that. Cat Root. There it is. And there it is. This product is for root coloring, and it says Hunter. And this time I'm going to pick on Cindy. So I'm going to say Cindy and save. Well, if I were to go back in here and refresh, this might take a moment because I can see that my internet is lagging a little bit. But I'm going to refresh this, and everything will still be the same. It'll say in stock. It'll say TG, and there it is. Finish. This product is for root coloring treatments and not to be used on oily hair. Cindy. So whatever you write there is going to be instantly viewable by your customers. Also, notice my product exists. You can see it. However, there are products here that you can't see. There's no images, and some that do have images. How do we get the images in? And you want images in because it looks really good. But right here in the product, it says upload image, and you can upload your image. And you might say, well, how do I get the image? Okay, well, pretty easy actually. The first step is get that image on your computer. You can go to a website like, I'm going to say Paul Mitchell Awa Pui shampoo. And then I'm going to hit my images here. And so all of these different images come up. I find the one that I want that matches my product and download it right to my computer. You just right-click on it, save this image as somewhere on my computer. Then I'm going to be able to upload it. That's one way to do it. Another way would be to actually take a picture of the product as it's sitting on your shelf and save that picture to your computer. When you upload the image, if you are an installed version and you are using the website, then you can upload a GIF, JPEG, TXT, or PNG. If you are a cloud or you are using the app, you can only upload a JPEG, a JPG. So if the only image you can find is a PNG or a PDF or something like that, don't forget, our graphic arts department is here to help you. You can send them imagery and say, can you convert this? And it can be converted, okay? And sent right back to you. All right. Once you have set up your online store and you have saved it, you've done your appointments, your gift cards or gift certificates if you want to, your retail if you want to, you simply press save and exit and you're done. It now exists and your customers can now book their own appointments. Your staff can check their appointments online. It now works with your app, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's it, guys. That's the online store. Now, I don't want you to think, well, I took the class, and so now I've got to be able to do this all on my own. Absolutely not. We're here to hold your hand. We're going to help you set everything up. But we needed you to take the class so you understood, well, first of all, so that you can start doing it yourself if you feel like you can, because the more you get done, the less time you'll have to spend with us to make sure it's done right. That's one thing. Another thing, though, is get it set up so that if you're one of these people that said, hey, I'm signing up for the app, when your app is available, as long as your store is up, your app is up and running. And if you can only use the app if you're in the cloud, so you never have to worry about launching it, or it's always running for you once you have set it up. And you might say, okay, I set it up to the best of my ability. I'm not sure if it's all right. Would you mind dialing into my system and taking a look? That's exactly what we'll do. We'll dial in to your computer just like you're dialed into mine. We'll dial into yours. We'll go into your online store, make sure everything's set up perfectly. Great, ready to go. You're done. Your app is working. Your online store is working. You can turn it into a website if you want. You can put the URL, turn them into buttons on your computer so that it says something like, click here to book appointments online when your customers go to your website. They could do things like that, but you don't have to. Like one of you said, hey, I don't have a website. I'm not planning on getting a website. That's fine. Set it up so that it'll work with your app. And that's it. Any questions at all?
I'm good. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. Would any of you like this class emailed to you?
Yes, please.
All right. So, Christia, do you want me to send it to christia.brown@yahoo.com?
Yes, please.
Okay. So go ahead and
I would like it also.
All right. I'll get yours in just
I want one too, please.
All right. Excellent. Okay. So, Christia, I've got you here. And Cindy, okay, I don't have an email for you, Cindy. What's yours?
It's Cindy, C-I-N-D-I, Arendale, A-R-E-N-D-A-L-E, at...
Okay, sorry, I am so sorry. I'm trying to write it down as you're going, and I'm just not as fast to write as you are talking. So let's start over.
C-I-N-D-I,
D-I,
A-R-E-N,
A-R-E-N,
D-A-L-E,
E-A-L-E,
at EPBSI.com.
Did you say S-I like Sierra Indigo, or did you say F-I like Frank Indigo?
Frank Indigo.
Thank you. All right, so now I've got yours, Cindy Arendale, and Sarah, I've got reception@SavannahDaySpa.com. Would you like me to send it there, or do you have a different address you'd like me to send it to?
That would be perfect.
All right, reception@Savannah.
And I did have one question.
Right ahead.
Okay, so on our current website, you are able to book appointments through a third-party system.
Okay.
If we set this up, would it, like I'm assuming we'd have to cancel that one, but since we already have a website, it should merge and offer it as an option already?
Okay, a couple of things for you to think about. You can set this up so that you can use it with your app, and then people could be booking online to your website using that third party if you wanted. But with your app, they're going to be using this setup on their smartphones. However, if you said, no, I want this on my website as well, well, then obviously you wouldn't want to have appointments online through us on your website as well as a third-party appointments online. That That wouldn't make much sense. So you would definitely want to
Right.
remove theirs if you're going to be putting us on your website. If you're not going to put us on your website, but you want it for the app, then you could go with theirs and ours on the app and theirs on your website. You could do that. I'm not sure why anyone would want to go with the third-party one, only because, remember, when somebody books an appointment online through our system, it actually puts the appointment right into your appointment book, which obviously a third party would not do.
Right, that's what we're trying to fix right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll get this right out to anybody, to all three of you. And just one last question. I know, Christia, you had already answered it, but are there any other questions that you guys have before I end this class? No questions. All right. Well, then I'm going to email each and every one of you the copy of this very class that you took, so you'll be able to hear your questions. And if you have any questions at all, my contact information will be part of that email. Please feel free to call me with any questions that you have, whether it be regarding the app, the software, et cetera. I'm not a technician, so if it's technical support, that's not what you want to use it for. But if you have questions regarding things like the online store, selling gift cards, gift certificates, product, anything having to do with sales or the app, I'm your guy. Please feel free to contact me. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.